Happy days and welcome to this week's Extreme Set Mind series with Lee in his stripy, whitey, lovely shirt. Today he's all striped up and ready for the day and all shaved and everything, and me hanging in the shadow of Tunnyware as usual. But I have something fantastic here today for us listeners, viewers. Be ready for this. Stay with me because this is controversial for sure. And here we are. Now, multiple or single stream income business. Multiple or single stream. Now, people say, oh, you should have multiple streams of things going on in your business. Then other people say, no, go one thing, stick with it, sell it into the market. It is quite an opinionated decision, subject matter, multiple or single stream. What's your thoughts, Tunnyware?
You sort of answered it both ways, but it depends how you look at business, and it depends what you want. If you need multiple streams, then what's wrong with the stream you've got? And do you want a stream or do you want a river?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you set your business up correctly, then you end up with multiple rivers if you can set up an ecosystem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you're in a market slot, so for example, I remember years ago, a lot of years ago now, over half my life ago, one of my companies was a building firm, general building firm, and also had a roofing company. And I used to go to Charter and Thompson's most mornings, most builders did in and around the area. And Charter and Thompson's was in New Haven.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Charter and Thompson. Yeah, it was Charter and Thompson. There's one in Seawood, one in New Haven. And the nearest plant hire shop, was in Peacehaven, not far away, probably about 4 miles maybe. But then it was a nightmare for traffic on that road. Or the next place, the nearest plant hire shop was Eastbourne or Brighton. Mm-hmm. So that's very relevant, I think, anyway. So I had a building firm, a general building firm, that got business for the roofing firm. Yeah. And the roofing firm got business for the general building. So I had one bloke on one and one bloke on the other. One morning we went into a cafe that we went into multiple times. Yeah. Most mornings as a builder, your morning starts about 6:30 in a cafe. Mm-hmm. And you meet the lads there, and we're all having breakfast, and then we're off to work probably about 7:15. There was a lady in this cafe called Mary, Irish lady, and I walked in, I talked to her every morning. How you doing, Mary? And it'd be roughly the same conversation, full English love, And or sometimes you walk in, she was really busy, and she was at the counter writing the things down. Lee, I'll get yours sorted, 28, so that was your number. So they shout out 28, and you go over here, and I walked in this morning and she was very depressed. And I said, what's up, Mary? And I said, you don't see your normal self, what's up? And she went, they're selling the cafe. I said, all right. So I said, right, well, you can lose your job. She said, well, probably going to lose my job at my home. She said, I live in their flat at the back. Yeah, so I said, all right. And there was 2 properties side by side. And one was like basically empty with a big yard, had a massive yard. And one was the cafe with a small B&B above. So, well, I said, is your boss about? She went, yeah. So, Brian, I think his name was. I said, Brian, Mary said you're selling the cafe. When are you putting it up for sale soon? I said, is it just... No, I knew he owned the one next door. I said... You're just selling the cafe, you're selling both. He said, oh, no, both. I said, the yard as well. He went, yeah. I said, well, how much? Well, yeah, I haven't chatted this day over. I said, no, forget all that. How much? I said, I'll shake hands with you now. We can get the right price. I said, I'll complete within 28 days. So he told me the price. We hummed and hawed a little bit. I shook hands with him. First of all, I had a walk round. Yeah. And I said, Mary, I'll be like 15 minutes. Yeah. I'll have my breakfast then. Can you tell the lads? Yeah. So I had a quick walk round. I said, as long as all the legalities are correct, yeah, I said, we agreed a price. 28 days or thereabouts later, it was probably about 32 or 33 days because of weekends or whatever. I owned the place. And next door in the yard, I put a plant hire shop. Yeah, so the bottom part next to the cafe was the plant hire shop, where the yard we kept like machines, dumpers, and whatever. Upstairs and up through into all bed and breakfast, and downstairs with the cafe. Revamped the cafe a little bit, and where Mary lived. That meant builders merchants down the road. All the builders were coming in the cafe. They used to go, Mary, full English, and can you tell Mick I need a Kango?
Ah.
Yeah, and Mary used to open a little hatch and go, Mick, need a Kango for Paul Rees. Yeah. And so they'd order the breakfast and get the stuff. They'd walk around the car. They'd walk literally out one door into another, get their plant hire.
Yeah.
So what's the point? Is the bed and breakfast was small upstairs. I doubled it in size. Yeah. One business fed them all if you were smart enough. The cafe fed the plant hire shop, and the cafe fed the bread and breakfast. Yeah, and it filled a void. The plant hire shop fed the cafe, and it also fed the bed and breakfast. Not on every job, depending how you marketed your business. Yeah, I done a lot of mini diggers and stuff like that. They also got me a big contract, or like a subcontract with Bell Cable Media years ago, running a lot of the telecom cables around London. Mm-hmm. And you'd be surprised, but because my place was the place of activity that was feeding off the ecosystem of the building centre, they already had an established business, a really big business, because they were feeding a niche. You either had to go to Brighton, Seaford, but Seaford with traffic in the schools, and that was a nightmare to get to. If you were in Seaford or Alfriston or somewhere like that, it would be natural to go to that. But the point is, if you can find the ecosystem of a business, then you can have multiple rivers very quick. Because one will feed the other, but a lot of people don't think like that. They niche. And another wrong with niching when you're starting out. When you've got it, it's how much of the training you're going to take.
Okay.
Another example of that is done a lot around London years ago with office blocks. And where I syndicated out big buildings like car parks, different things like that. And syndicated out, and I started doing it with racehorses. That's how I started doing it. So I syndicated out a racehorse. That became the activity. Yeah, because I wanted a specific type of person. I needed an entrepreneur who had money and had experience. I didn't want an entrepreneur with no money and no experience. I didn't want an entrepreneur with experience and no money. They had to have the combination of three. And they had to see the value in an opportunity, and they had to listen. Because the problem is with business people or entrepreneurs, they don't always listen. They've all got a different idea. And you've got to have an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is always in the future. Mm-hmm. It's how far in the future they are.
Is that a bad thing then, if they're too far? I mean,
if they're too far, if they're too far in the future, and they haven't reverse engineered that back, they're never going to materialize their opportunities or ideas, because they utilize the future as the comfort blanket to keep putting off and putting off and putting off.
Wow, that's so true.
Yeah. So you have to listen to where they are. So what's their calibration? Yeah. So some people will go, I've got a brilliant idea. What are you going to do? Well, I want to get it sort of into the market within the next 6 to 8 months. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then if you've got experience, you'll have the data to be able to bring something to market really quick. I mean, I remember once I was watching TV, and this is a business I ran for 30 years, started with a TV program. I was sitting down with my mum, and LA Law was on, and the lawyers went out and played paintball. And I didn't know what it was, because it didn't say in the show what it was, and I was visiting my mum. Yeah, I called in to see my mum and my grand, and I was on my way back from Ireland to England. So the sound was down.
Mm-hmm.
There was no remote controls in them days. And I said, what's that? She said, oh, that's LA Law. I said, I know that. Turn it up. Yeah, because my mum was nearest, yeah. And my mum went to my grand, turn it up, yeah, because my grand was nearest to it. And by the time that happened, it was over. And of course, there was no rewind or anything like that. And she hadn't been recording it. So, as in with video recorder. So I thought, all right. And I only saw literally about 4 minutes of it. And Mum went, oh, wait, it might be on again. Yeah, not as in +1 in an hour. It might be on again, as in it might show up, which it did. So now sitting there about half an hour after I should have been going, waiting for the end of the show, and they showed a bit of it. Still didn't know what it was. And I forget, and I think then I went to WH Smith's or something like that in the UK, and I looked at all the magazine covers and, hobbies and different. I spent a couple of hours in there, and I found a magazine because I didn't know the name of it.
Yeah.
And it was paintball. I thought, yeah, right. And then, I bought the magazine, sat down and read a bit about it. Then I phoned up a mate of mine, John Edwards, and I said, John, up the road from you, I said, is there some shooting thing called paintball and that? He went, yeah. He said, George's dad owns it. He said, George, you drive for me, don't you? And my mate, John, used to do a lot of National Express coaches. He had coaches all around the country. He was sort of subcontracted, and he used to do holiday tours abroad and that, and executive car hire, and wedding cars and stuff like that. So I said, all right. I said, you ain't got George's dad's number, have you? He went, yeah. Didn't know George's dad. I just phoned him up and said, all right, how you doing? And I asked for him, and I got through to him and that. And I said, I'm a mate of John Edwards. So he said, all right, how's John on it? So I was just speaking to him, and John said to give me a call. So he said, you do a paintball site, I said, can you tell me a bit about it? And he told me a bit about it. He said, all right. So I was thinking about starting one in Ireland. So I've got a lot of land there. I said, when are you free? Well, when can I come down and have a look? It's best time to come down is on a Saturday, but we only sort of run it on a Saturday. Anyway, I went down, had a nose, asked him all the questions. So from seeing it on the TV to finding out about it, in between other things I was doing, like running a family, a business, whatever, within a month I was up and operating in a different, that's 6 weeks, because I had to, problem I had with in Ireland was that the gun laws were different. Okay. So I had to go to a solicitor, but my solicitor was a state solicitor as well. So he had to liaise with customs and excise and the government. In that time, I had to partially write a white paper for government. I had to work with the insurance companies and work out the Marshall ratio. Mm-hmm. And all the safety protocols for the business, not just set the business up.
Wow.
Get them approved by insurance with age and everything, because it was totally I was the first one up in Ireland. It was so new at the time because it was in America, and that's how I found out about it, but it was half a dozen in the UK. And that business was run for 30 years, and that probably, I don't know what it earns. It earned us an absolute fortune. Fortune when I say millions.
Lee,
that was set up within 6 weeks, running, operating, and we were in profits, after 3 weekends. We were in profits.
Wow.
We paid for everything, all the legal fees and everything in profits after 3, as in profit, as in we were making money. It didn't take 3 years. And that's the difference. See, if you're in multiple streams, if you've got the experience and you've got the ecosystem of contacts, one, it can save you money, but then you can bring it to market really quick. And what a lot of people do wrong is they rely on adverts. Adverts ain't no good. Mm-hmm. Adverts are only a small portion. They're like a grain of sand. But with adverts, it's going to cost you money. Nowadays, a lot of people rely on social media. They've got no copyright experience. No SEO experience, don't understand buyer personas, don't understand buyer triggers, don't speak to the emotion or the problem of the buyer. They educate, because most of us spend a lot of time in school. Entrepreneurs don't spend time in school. Schools are nightmares for them. Yeah, and that's not just me. Schools are an absolute nightmare to them because they don't like being told what to do. They don't like being controlled. Most people nowadays call entrepreneurs, yeah. I don't know how to spell very well. I have dyslexia. Entrepreneurs is a long word. They've shortened it down to ADHD now. That's what entrepreneurs mean.
So true.
Yeah. Or there's another word a bit longer, disruption. Yeah, disruptive. She's disruptive. That's what an entrepreneur is. I guarantee you, yeah, ADHD, or if they're disruptive in school, yeah, they're a natural leader.
Wow.
Natural leader, organic leader. If you went back to tribal before commerce, bear in mind, commerce only really new. Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
For all that, I mean, if you went back 300 or 400 years, we wouldn't have time to zoom. We'd be out like hunting lunch. But we've lost a lot of our instincts. Entrepreneurs have those instincts. They're hot wired with them.
Leland, so let me, at your absolute peak of multiple streams, how many streams did you have at one given point in time, do you feel?
27.
What?
27 different businesses.
Running at one given time?
Yeah, one given time.
Wow. And were
say again, sorry?
Were they all complementing of each other, do you think?
In most cases, well, yes and no. So it was in the building bit, but then I had a nurseries, yeah, still running today. It's not mine. I sold it. Lawton Nurseries between Lewis and Golden Cross. So just down the road from Lewis. And I set that up because of a planning. One, you could do horticulture or agriculture. I mightn't say the word horticulture correctly. And if you could prove viability, you could get planning permission. So I set up a nurseries. I set up 2 free-range poultry farms, one in Penhurst near Battle, and one in Chiddingly. But I only bought in good areas, expensive areas. Why? I mean, in Chiddingly, Bob Hoskins used to have a house there and one of the Bachelor singers. So I bought in really top areas. Why? Because I wanted planning permission in top areas. So they were individual businesses, but their outcome, they had to be profitable. But then you could get how do you get the massive dividend? You get planning permission on the land. So there was a section of the law, a loophole in the law called Section 52. So those 3 businesses were independent from each other. But then I was aiming to get planning permission. I got planning permission on 2 and not on the nurseries. I got planning permission on the 2 poultry farms. I had a car yard. Yeah, so I had a place at Pevensey behind the smugglers, and it was called Trade Bargains. Yeah, retail cars at trade prices. That was just as we went into the recession. I opened the business after Black Wednesday.
Wow.
Because I saw the impact on the market. I knew that people would be tightening their belt. Yeah, I knew the car market very well, so I opened up basically right in the pain point, so you could buy it. And I used to show them the Glasses Guide book. That's the book that has all the prices of the cars, and go, look, that be like 6,000 or 5,000 on the front. Yes, 4,000 too. You could take this car, put it in the paper, and make a profit. And I made basically so many people. Well, some will come back saying it didn't sell. So, and I say, what do you mean? Didn't sell? Okay. And there's me punters selling, and I'd say to them, have you got a copy of your advert? And they go, yeah. I look at your advert. So that's why I didn't sell, because you don't know how to write an advert. You're doing exactly what everybody else is doing. How can you get attention? How can you get attention in the marketplace? So,
but Lee, how do you, think, we're running out of time here, but how do you manage 27 streams or 27?
Well, I'm good at picking people, yeah, but that's the point. When you think as an individual, you can't. And bear in mind, I didn't sleep much anyway. Yeah, like I still don't sleep much, 2, 3, 4 hours a day. Yeah, sometimes I don't sleep, I'll Ross.
Wow.
But even if you run 24 hours you can't do it. So you've got one, and this is one of the things. Come back to that ADHD bit or the entrepreneur bit. They're so used to being put down, picked on, told they're stupid, whatever. They're different, and they don't fit the mold, and they never fit the mold, an entrepreneur. Yeah, and bear in mind, entrepreneurs create all the jobs. Well, you take entrepreneurs, you go business owners, oh no, they're an entrepreneur to start with. Take them out of the market, see where your mortgage payment will come from then.
Wow. Yeah.
See where your car payment will come from then. Yeah. The disruptors are the ones that disrupt. Yeah. Whether they do it at an Uber level or whether they do it at a micro level. But the piece, this is the piece that, in a sense, that the entrepreneurs are caught in a paradigm, I think, in the modern age as well. But it was the same. And what the paradigm is, they were disruptors at school. So they walk out with a self-image problem. Yeah, mum and dad have been in their ear for quite a while, and they've got this self-image. So now they're out to prove mum and dad wrong and the school system wrong or whatever. And they might have done really well at school. You can have good, and bear in mind, look up the word academic. Yeah, ain't a good word. You look up the word academic, brainwash basically, because that's what it is, So somebody can think and adapt in real time, which is how we would have done years ago when we were out hunting.
Mm-hmm.
But they're caught in this ecosystem, this paradigm where they can't trust because nobody understands them. So they can't communicate effectively because people that are from the academia world can't hear them. They're running systems. Wow. So a lot of people don't understand them and they think, I can't express myself. No, you can't talk in their language, their lingo. So where the clever bit is, see, that I got past at a really early age. If I hadn't got past it, I wouldn't have been successful. Was I was able to trust. I was able to communicate effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And because I could trust, I could pinpoint the right people to work in my businesses. So I would start, most times I would start business. The main reason I bought that cafe, I wasn't worried about the plant hire shop. I already had a bloke that had run a plant hire shop just in conversation. Was Mary. I bought Mary with the business. That was one of my terms. Yeah. And I had spoke to Mary and I said to Mary, all the time you stay loyal to me, you'll have a home for life.
Mm-hmm.
When you reach retirement, if you're still here with me, you'll have a home. Because that was a home. She wasn't worried about a job. She didn't get a job anywhere. It was part of her home. So if you look after people, people will look after you. Mick was another fella. He used to work for that bloke who fell over the boat, Robert Maxwell. And Robert Maxwell fell over the boat. Mick lost his job and he ended up coming down to the Sussex coast looking for work. And he was working for me there for a while and he ended up working with me. And so you pick the right people. As long as you've got the right people, they must have character. They must have character. Character comes from the school of hard knocks. If they ain't got character, they're too entitled and they're too quick to tell you how to run your business when they can probably only wipe their nose. So whether that answers the question.
There it is. It's brilliant. There it is. Character, multiple streams, purposeful streams. And Lee, 27 at one given time. Fair play to you, my friend. Here we go. Until this time next week. Lee Tannyware. Bye.
Take care, buddy. See you Monday.